wish you could see better? Last fall, when I arrived in Asia for the first time, I had no idea what expansive visual treats lay in store. Picture this. I'm standing in the demilitarized zone, looking from South Korea into North Korea. No photos are allowed beyond this point, so only my eyes are recording this image. It's top secret. I'm absorbing the vast spectacle of the amazing terracotta warriors in Xi'an, China. And then I'm riding a gigantic elephant in Thailand. And I'm walking a reflexology path near the Chiang Kai-shek Memorial Hall in Taipei, where we had just watched the changing of the guards. All of this is something out of my wildest dreams. I had said to myself, I just want someone to pay me to travel. Then I got the opportunity to teach English in China, where the travel part became easy. Now I've seen places I never dreamed of. And every day I have new experiences that change my perspective of the world we live in. We all have different perspectives, don't we? Today I'm talking about our literal perspective, or how our eyes work. I've spent the past 15 years studying vision in depth. And because I feel so strongly about sharing my vision journey, I became a podcast host, discussing all things vision. It took a lot of effort for me to learn to see in 3D, and I succeeded even though it's often considered impossible for people like me. I'm that 1 in 20 person who didn't have true depth perception. You may have heard it called a lazy eye, squint, or walleye. Very few people know the technical terms like amblyopia or strabismus. We're often unaware that we see differently, or we're told that there's nothing we can do to change it. I'm here to tell you there is something we can do, and I'll give you 2 practices everyone can do to improve your vision today. Vision issues were always a part of my life. Here I am at age 3 wearing my first pair of baby blue bifocals. The glasses made my eyes look straight most of the time, but they were really a Band-Aid for the true problem. Doctors treated this as an eye muscle issue. For decades, I was clumsy, couldn't catch moving objects or play ball games. Driving was difficult and especially scary at night. Over time, I became increasingly aware that my eyes were crossing and getting worse as I aged. Then it started to affect my relationships. One night I took 4 of my 6 children to a movie at the Dollar Theater. They were so excited. I didn't realize until we got to the ticket counter that the only remaining showing was in 3D, which cost 5 times more. There was no good alternative available, and I was upset. I said to the cashier, "Are you kidding me? I'm not paying all that for a movie I won't be able to see." I turned around, gathered my disappointed children, and went home. That wasn't like me. I was so embarrassed. My children deserved better, so something needed to change. I went looking for answers, and what I found rocked my world. It wasn't an eye muscle issue. My vision was a brain issue, and giving me bifocals at age 3 didn't teach my brain what to do. Neuroscientist Susan Berry wrote a book entitled Fixing My Gaze to explain the science of vision. She describes how vision therapy takes advantage of the neuroplasticity of the brain and teaches us to see in a whole new way. There's a long-held myth that says that there's a critical period for vision development. And according to the myth, if you don't gain 3D vision by around age 7, you never will. Her book debunks the myth scientifically, and she proved it by gaining 3D vision at age 48. I learned that those of us with strabismus typically see a separate image with each eye. So in order to avoid double vision, one eye will turn off or get out of the way, usually by turning in or out. Strabismus occurs in babies, in early childhood like for me, or even as a result of a traumatic brain injury or a stroke. Whether it happens developmentally or accidentally, the brain is not telling the eyes how to focus together properly. but it can learn. Two main tools were key to my success: vision therapy and surgery. Vision therapy taught my eyes what to do, and surgery aligned them so that they could do it. My surgeon thought that my goal of seeing in 3D was unrealistic. But when I followed up my eye muscle surgery with more vision therapy, my eyes knew just what to do. Because there is a genetic component, my youngest daughter, Abby, also needed vision therapy to gain 3D vision. One of our favorite activities, once we both gained 3D, was to go to a 3D movie at the Dollar Theater. Yes, that same theater, only this time I was nice. It was vision therapy on steroids. One night when we were on our way home from the 3D movie, it was snowing. In the past, just driving at night would have been scary, much less in a snowstorm. But this time, with our heightened 3D awareness, it was magical, like a double 3D treat. Wow, I said, look at how that snow is coming directly at us. It's so cool, Abby said. It's like we're part of the 3D instead of being outside looking in. 3D movies are actually a great way to gauge your 3D abilities. If you hate 3D movies, maybe it's because you have a binocular vision issue like me. And actually, 1 person in 5 does have a binocular issue that makes life more challenging. Maybe your issue is focusing close, and that makes reading unpleasant. It can be challenging to know that the problem is your eyes and confusing to know where to turn for help. Most doctors don't thoroughly test binocular skills, and they don't tend to recommend each other. So if you consult a surgeon, they will tell you whether surgery can help, but their definition of success is limited to cosmetic alignment. If surgery is not recommended, they may prescribe bifocals like mine did, or glasses with prisms. Alone, it's often a Band-Aid approach. Developmental optometrists, on the other hand, will test all aspects of your vision and offer therapy if needed. It can be challenging work, but it's worth it. Elite athletes have found this to be true and often use vision therapy to further enhance their visual abilities. In truth, we can all learn to see better than we do. When I started my podcast 5 years ago, my goal was to let people know that help is available and to highlight success stories like mine. I've also talked with doctors and alternative medicine practitioners, and I found there are so many options. What works for one person may not work for another. Even developmental optometrists will have different opinions, and every doctor has different suggestions. So therefore, it's important that you find the answer that works for you. So here are 2 tools that you can use to improve your vision and find your own answers. Practices like these were created 100 years ago by an ophthalmologist named William Bates. I call the first practice See Inside. So if you're wearing glasses, you'll want to take them off for this one. And then we're going to warm up our hands and cup them gently over your eyes like this. It's like giving your eyes a hug. You want to block out all the light. And you can choose whether to close your eyes or gently blink, which is also good because most of us don't blink enough. Breathe deeply and relax. Look inward and ground. There's a dual purpose here. If you're at a crossroads, you can mentally explore each path and know which one feels more expansive. Trust your inner knowing. Do this in a safe place, and the longer, the better. Now go ahead and take your hands away from your eyes, and you should be able to physically see better. You may also gain additional mental and emotional clarity. The second practice I call See Big. Whoops. You can see big anywhere. So indoors, just shift your central focus away from that book or screen, or me, out into the periphery, clear out here. And wiggle your fingers to check how far out you're seeing. you're going to want to take in the whole expanse of the sky and see how big you can see. Try this next time you're outdoors, where you can explore the immensity of space and the vastness of the sky. Relaxing outward also gives our eyes a break and allows us to see more depth between every object we see. The options are limitless, and there is a right path for each of us. So look inside and trust your inner knowing, and look far and wide to rediscover the sky. Remember, vision is in our neuroplastic brain, so it doesn't just change for the worse. It can also change for the better. Just as travel expands our physical world perspective, I hope your perspective on vision has also expanded. Let's choose to see inside, see big, and create our best vision.